Hi everyone. All right, let's get right to it. I'm going to show you how to make 2D and change the line weights in Rhino. So here I have my cube, model of my cube, and I want to make a 3D drawing of it. I can make a plan drawing, I can make an elevation drawing, but I want this 3D view. So something very important is we want to make a view that we can go back to over and over, and that's called a named view. So I type in the command named view, and Rhino will bring up this box. So I'm going to put it right here, and you can see it says no named views have been saved. So what I want to do is I want to position my cube how I want it to be displayed. So I kind of like it like this, where you can see this gap, and you can see the whole shape. So now I like my view. I'm going to click on this save icon to save the view. I like to call it A1. I'll show you. It's because there's a little secret trick in Rhino, which is whatever you name a view becomes a command to go back to that view. So now if I mess up, if I lost my like perfect 3D, I can either double click and there I go straight back to it. But let's say I don't have my name views panel up. If I type the name of my view, which was A1, and I hit enter, it goes right back. So that's named views. Okay, the reason that that's important is because we want to be able to fix or edit our drawing if we don't like it, and we need to go back to the same 3D view. So I'll show you now, because now we're going to make our drawing, and we do that with the Make2D command. So I'm going to type in Make2D, I'm going to select all of the things that I want to draw, and what Rhino is going to do when I hit enter is it's going to calculate after I do these options. It lets you pick hidden lines and scene silhouette, which is basically an outline of the whole shape, which is very useful. I'm going to check those two, and it lets you group the output. That just means that all the lines that Rhino makes will be in a group, and it's going to put it on a layer called Make2D, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to click OK. And so you see it made all these layers, but now I don't know where my thing is. So I'm going to type in select last. So you see I have 121 curves somewhere in Rhino space. So I'm going to zoom selected. I have it as a shortcut, but basically zoom to your selection. It usually puts the drawing near the origin. And so here we have our lines, and we see that I have dashed lines for hidden, and I have lines that copy the color of my model layer, so they're red. So now I have these lines. I can print these, but you'll notice that we want to change the line weights first. Oop, there's my print window. So remember this process. I'm just dragging a window. This is a little preview. You see that these lines, the hidden lines, are dashed. They're a little bit confusing because the other line weights aren't thick enough. So I'm not going to print that just yet. What I want to do is check out my curves. I'm going to turn off hidden lines to take a look at what I have. My Make2D is a little messy. So there's something you can do, which is a command called trim. I select all these lines, and I'm going to just trim away these little extra bits. See that? Okay, looks clean. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check my line weights here. So here in the layers menu, you'll notice every layer has a couple options. This column is the name of the layer. This column is where you check which is the current layer, which is important. So whatever's the layer with the check mark is the layer that any new command will put something on. So if I put a line, it's going to be on my curves layer. And here in this column, we have the line type and the print width. This is the line weight. This is the most important one. So here we can see the scene silhouette is on 0.5, the hidden lines, everything else is default. So what we want to do is, let's try to bump the scene silhouette. This is where you would edit things to get it just how you want. Let's make the other red lines 0.18. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to print and see what it looks like. Okay, it looks similar. Let me just see what we get. I'll save it here. And here we have our print. I'd say we could bump the line rates up even more. You can do that by going back to your Rhino. Looks like we don't have a scene silhouette, so let's make one. I'm going to check that layer. And what I'm going to do is a command called CurveBoolean. I click outside, and you see this command. It's basically going to draw a curve that's shrink wrapped around all my selected curves. And I want to click out this section as well, because that also is not part of the model. So now I have these curves that are going to be the thick line rate. This should all be on my scene silhouette layer. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. Okay, it's showing up in the preview. That's a good sign. I'm going to save over the last file. Yes. I have to close it. Okay, it's just rotated, but here's my printed PDF. Let me just rotate that. I want it clockwise. And there we have our drawing. All right, good luck, everyone.